Hello, Earth. This is the Bryce Man. Welcome to the outside. I'm out trying to make $1 today. In between runs, I have a story to tell. It's about the Epstein files. Oh man, the Epstein files are crazy. It's a very traumatic thing for the people that actually believe that the stuff that in the files is true and all that. It's very traumatic. Traumatic as a nation, traumatic as a globe. Like are currently experiencing global trauma is what we are experiencing right now. I think that the most important thing that we as a species can take away from all of the bullshit that's in the Epstein files and all of the evil, greedy, narcissistic fucktards that are in the Epstein files, whether they're human or they're not, they're all narcissistic fucktards and they only care about themselves. They worship Baal. Baal is an ancient deity. He's mentioned a lot in the Bible. Baal is associated with Moloch. They're the same entity. This is also the same entity that is Marduk. Marduk was mentioned repeatedly in the Sumerian tablets. Marduk is the son of Enki. Enki is our creator. Enki was the good brother. Enki was the scientist. He was a good guy. He was the only one that was looking out for us as a species. Okay? Marduk was not such a good egg. Marduk wanted to rule the earth. By any means necessary. Marduk was also a narcissistic fucktard. Only wants power and control only. But you know what? The fact that they worship Baal or Marduk means that everything that is in the Sumerian tablets is true. Obviously. These people are probably somewhat divine. And these people are probably somewhat immortal or have unnatural long life anyway, due to that said divinity, which is also false. They're not gods. They're not divine. They're flesh and blood beings just like we are. Yes, they may have came from another planet or whatever, but they're still flesh and blood, and they still bleed and die, just like we do. They created us for slave labor, to toil and mine for gold. That's our only function. The fact that we've made it this far without their monitoring us is awesome. That means we're doing something right. However, there is still the system in place, the system of control. The system of control has been in place ever since the dawn of mankind. It was made for us, to control us. Every aspect of the system is control. Every single part of it. Religion, the workforce, careers, money, all the bullshit we deal with on a day-to-day basis, where when we know in our soul it's not right. We've always known in our soul that it's not right. Especially Gen X. I think Gen X has a better handle on understanding that the system is just wrong. We grew up outside. We grew up outside of the system. We were one of the first generations that were told to go outside. Go outside and go play. Go get out from behind that screen and go outside. Go be with your friends. Go ride your bike. Don't come home till the streetlights come on. Go get dirty. Go get sick. These are all things that we heard as children. And you know what? That's what we did. And we fucking enjoyed it. We figured out life outside of the system. But we know how to live outside of the system. We know how to get by living broke. Gen Z has no clue how to live broke. Anyways, I want to talk about the Sumerian tablets for a minute. Basically, they have their own creation story, and that creation story absolutely mirrors the book of Genesis in the Bible, except for it is the rest of the book of Genesis. Their creation story is called the Enuma Elish, or the Epic of Creation. It talks about who they are, where they came from, what their lineage is, who's in charge. It talks about all the goings on that happened upon the earth when they arrived. We were not here yet. The first creature, the first one of them that landed here, when he got off of the ship, the first creature that he saw was a serpent. This is why the serpent is so revered in so many different cultures. It talks about the Garden of Eden. It talks about our creation, how we were created, why we were created. They tried to make a viable human being as a slave species. Never would work, never could work. They took their own DNA and the DNA of the shaggy ape-like creature that was wandering around on the planet at the time, that I happen to believe is Bigfoot. I believe Bigfoot was here. I believe Bigfoot is the original humans. I believe that they saw this Bigfoot and they saw that it was an intelligent species. And they went ahead and spliced their own DNA with the DNA of this Bigfoot, right? Gigantopithecus or what have you. And they created us human beings as a slave labor. They took away all our hair. Well, they took away all your hair. And yeah, so Bigfoot is a huge part of how everything is all connected, and I'll get into that at some point, but not today. So they created us to slave away in the mines, and we did a lot, and we still are. What the fuck is wealth? What is monetary gain? Why are we even doing that? That is an absolute fallacy in human progress. It is absolutely dumbing us down and distracting us from everything that we could be. Okay? So these beings, these Anunnaki, as they are, those who from heaven to earth came, the tablets talk about the pyramids in Egypt. They talk about the Sphinx. The Sphinx was apparently built because it used to have a lion face. The original face was a lion, and it was because that in between the pyramids or whatever direction the lion is facing, that's the constellation of Leo was rising on the horizon at that time. So that's in the tablets. If there's any astrologists or astronomers out there that are willing to figure out what period in time that was where the Sphinx was built and the constellation of Leo was rising on the horizon at that time, we will be able to figure out exactly how old the Sphinx is. And that fucking control drama narcissist piece of shit Zahil Was is never going to tell us that. They have to keep the narrative to keep us in control. If we knew our true origins, we would revolt, wouldn't we? We would. So there was this king of this other planet, Nibiru, that there was a white race and a black race on this planet, and they were constantly fighting and warring and fighting and warring and fighting and warring. Hey, does that sound familiar? in order to unite their planet, the king of the one race married the queen of the other race, and they begat a son, Anu, who united the planet. I can kind of see us going this way at some point as a human species. But anyways, Anu had sons. He had a son, Enki, and a son, Enlil. When they got here to Earth, Enki was charged with being in charge of Earth. He was Lord Earth. That's what Enki means. Enki, Lord Earth. Enlil is Lord of the Command. He was the ultimate decision maker. And he was a narcissistic fucktard also. He just wanted power and control. And so they fought and argued and fought and argued and fought and argued, and they decided that Enlil decided we were getting out of hand and we weren't able to be controlled as good as he wanted, and we were loud and noisy and kept him up at night, and we were just becoming a royal pain in the ass. And that's because that's what we are, and that's what we're best at, is being a royal pain in the ass. And so they decided to let the flood happen to wipe us out and everything. So the flood did happen. The flood exists. Graham Hancock speaks of this in depth. He's provided much evidence to the fact that the flood did happen, and the fact that civilizations did exist before the flood and were wiped off the face of the earth as a result of the flood. So Enki decided that he did not want his creation to die. So he decided to go ahead and tell Zil Sudra, or Noah, to go ahead and do what he did and build the ark and all those things, and that actually happened and everything. And yeah, all this can be proven. You're never ever ever going to get mainstream science to accept this, because mainstream science is a system of control. They're never going to tell us what really happened. We, as a human species, it's time for us to start digging. And it's time for us to figure out exactly what happened, and who we are, and where we came from. And it's important for us to do that, because currently the system controls the narrative, and has for a long time. They're all telling us lies. It's all a big manipulation. It's all a bunch of fucking narcissism. Every human being on the planet is a victim of narcissistic abuse by these fucktards that are running things. There's no way in hell we're ever going to be able to put a stop to it, okay? They have all the guns. They have all the missiles. They have all the bombs. They have all the tanks. They have all the airplanes. What are we going to do? Learn about narcissism. That's what you do. Become a narcissist hunter. Learn their ways. Learn what triggers them. Learn how to defeat them. Learn how to be unmanipulatable. This is what we need to do. We need to become uncontrollable and unmanipulatable. How do we best do this? Withdraw. Don't give them attention. Don't give them a squirt of warm piss. They can't control us. We have light. That's what we have. I do believe that's what the earth has bestowed upon us. When they created us, they tried and tried and tried. Multiple attempts. They mixed all the little stuff they had to mix in little crystal petri dishes that were of their planet, and they never worked. Read it. It's in the texts. There's probably multiple translations at this point, but I would guarantee you that they all boil down to the same fucking concepts. Okay, they were successful in creating us when they mixed their little concoction with their DNA and Bigfoot's DNA into a clay dish that was made of this earth. That's how they were successful. They used this earth. We humans are of this earth. They are not. We have light. I do believe the light is associated with this earth somehow. That science will come out in time. we need to shine our light now. Now is the time for us to shine our light. And learn how to combat narcissism. I'll get very in depth into that in the future. Because all the evil in the world, all the archons that exist, all the evil people, they all have the same modus operandi, is to take and to disrupt and to confuse and to diminish. They diminish the light within us. They're jealous. They're empty. They're envious of the light. They have none. They cannot create. Not like we can. We can manipulate reality to whatever end we want. Don't believe they can. They can only manipulate our perception of said reality, and that's what they do. That's how the evil in the world has been able to flourish, is because they control our perception of the way things are. They always have. It's time for us to go inward as a species on an individual level. We must go inward and find our own truth. Do some research. Read these texts. Read everything you can. Read everything about Jesus. Read everything about Gnosticism. That's what I'm doing right now. I do believe Gnosticism has a lot of wisdom there, as far as being a warrior in this spiritual battle that we are in right now, and have been in for a long time. I don't believe Jesus is a second coming. There's no second coming. He's not coming back. He never left. Jesus, yes, was a flesh and blood human. The fact that these Anunnaki exist, the fact that the Bible is all bumpkus, I'll get into that pretty in depth also. The Bible is bumpkus. It's a control story. It was once based on real events, but now you probably can all verify this, but I do believe the end result, or the end, I do believe the guy that, the man, was probably a narcissistic fucktard. That was the last editor of the Bible, was Pope Constantine, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below. He was probably a narcissistic fucking ruler. He wanted to change things to suit his own ends, or he was being told to change things to suit the end game, which is control and subterfuge and manipulation. Yeah. The God in the Bible, in the Old Testament, is Enlil, the narcissistic brother, the greedy fucktard that wanted all the power and control for himself. I mean, think about it. I mean, an eye for an eye, like, there shall need be no other God before me. Like, think about that statement. Think about that statement. There shall be no other God before me. Like, that's a narcissistic fucking piece of shit. I mean, I'm sorry, all you Christians, I'm sorry. This does not negate the existence of a higher power. There is absolutely a higher power. It is so much greater than what they speak of in the Bible. Let me tell you what, buddy. So much greater. Okay? And this also does not negate the existence of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ existed. There is evidence to this. Outside of the Bible. In the Gnostic texts. In the Talmud Emmanuel. I bet nobody's ever heard of that. The Talmud Emmanuel. Go look it up. It's Jemanuel, spelled with a J. Jemanuel. Emmanuel. That's Jesus' name, or one of his names. Okay, he was preaching about light in the Gnostic texts, and they buried it and they hid it and they took it from you. They took it from you. They took the truth from you about God, about Jesus. They took it, and they're hiding it from you. Do some research. I dare you. I fucking dare you. All you Christians, I dare you. Come on. Look at the Epstein files, bro. They're all a bunch of fucking Satan worshippers or whatever. Baal worshippers. Narcissist worshippers. It's so much bigger than you can imagine. What's really going on. What's really our true nature. What's really our true history. It's so much bigger. And there's so much evidence on the planet to support all of this. You just have to go look. You just have to go look. Don't take it from me. I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy trying to spread a message. Everything I've learned based on my life's experiences. God has placed me in certain situations to open my eyes. And I finally put all the pieces together and I see how it's all connected, and I'm going to tell you all about it, whether you like it or not. If you made it this far, I'd really do appreciate it. Maybe you could drop a subscribe down there, maybe push that like button, that'd be great. Study the old texts. This is where truth lies. While you are studying old texts, or whatever truth you can find, listen to your intuition. Listen to your soul speak to you. Your soul will resonate with whatever you're reading, and it'll be like, yep, you need to grab onto that and carry it with you. And you can absolutely discard everything else. This is wisdom. This is how we become wise as a species. This is how we recover the truth. Happy hunting. I'll talk to you all later. Have a great day.